So I can start. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Ekaterina Yurochkina, and the topic of today talk will be a history of Russian ballet from its origins to the present day. And before we begin, I'll quickly tell you what we are going to talk about. So first I'll introduce myself. I'll tell you where I train, where I'm from, and then we will go into the history of ballet in Russia very quickly. And then we'll talk about famous Vaganova school and Agrippina Vaganova herself. Then I'll explain you about the training at Vaganova school, how it looks like, how the audition is gonna be, and then I'll tell you more about the Bolshoi theater. And at the end, I will tell you why Russian ballet dancers look so different from other dancers. And I will show you photos at the end. It's gonna be one is Carmen, danced by Plisetskaya in 1975. And the second video would be the same variation, Carmen, and it's danced by Svetlana Zakharova in 2019. And then we'll compare these two performances because it's like 45 years difference, and we will see how the techniques has developed over 50 years. And then we'll see another part. We will see Swan Lake Odile variation, danced first by Plisetskaya in 1957, and then the same variation danced by Natalia Osipova in 2018. And we again will I will again explain you how the technique has developed over the 60 years. And basically that's all. At the end, you can ask me any questions, and I'll be gladly to answer them. If during my talk, during my presentation, you will have any questions, you can write them down right away, but I'll answer them most likely at the end when we have time. Okay, so let's begin. And first I'll tell you a little bit about of myself. As I said, my name is Ekaterina Yurochkina. I was born in Russia, and I'm a ballerina. I've been professionally trained first in Siberia, then in Moscow, and then I moved to New York City, and I've been training there at Dance Conservatory of New York. My teacher was a famous Russian dancer who defeated to New York, and she was a principal dancer of New York City Ballet. So upon my return to Russia, Moscow, I opened my own company. It's ballet and stretching school. And I'm also a creator of fitness ballet online. Here's my Instagram. You can sign up if you want to. So next slide. Okay, let's talk a bit about the history of ballet in Russia. We don't know exactly where it is originated, but we know exactly that to Russia it came from France. And it was during the Baroque time when Peter the Great brought the foreign dancers into Russia, and it was in the beginning of 17th century. And at that time, it wasn't really popular. But then, starting in 18th century, when wealthy Russian tsars started to invest money, and they started to bring foreign dancers, teachers, and choreographer to perform in Moscow and St. Petersburg. And at that time, ballet becomes more and more popular, especially among the aristocrats. Why? Because it was the best form of entertainment for wealthy aristocrats. They like ballet and they like opera. So that's why it becomes more and more popular. And for young dancers, it was the quickest way to fame and glory. So that's why many young dancers, they they did their best to become famous because it was the quickest way. And at that time, mostly Italian and French dancers and choreographers presented on a stage and at the theater. But then, and then in the 19th century, um, ballet scene was dominated by Ivan Walberg, who slowly, step by step, started to introduce Russian folk, Russian folk dance into the ballet performances. And Russia has its unique contribution into the development of ballet because of these folk dances. And European ballet critics agree that Russian dance had a positive influence on Western European ballet. And under Petipa, Marius Petipa, he's a famous French choreographer. It was the dominant figure during the 19th century, and under his time, the ballet became really, really popular and world known. And I would like to tell you a little bit about Petipa because it's a very dominant figure. Petipa, he was born in Marseille, France, so he's French. And then he traveled a lot. He danced in different countries, in New York, in Brussels, all over, in France, in Belgium. And then he came to Russia, and he produced more than 60 ballet performances. And he worked carefully on detailed plans. And this became the basis of modern classical ballet in Russia. He collaborated with Tchaikovsky on The Nutcracker and Sleeping Beauty, and presented versions of Swan Lake, Raimonda, and Giselle. Among other major ballet are his Don Quixote, La Baidere, and Le Corsaire. So under the Petipa, the St. Petersburg Imperial Ballet became the best in the world. And after the collapse of Soviet Union, ballet companies in Russia had to go from being state-supported entities to enterprises that paid their own way. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, now I want to discuss a little bit about the famous Vaganova school. If you have a child that want to dance, you definitely want to put your child into this school because that's the best in the world. And it's very competitive and it's very hard to get accepted. And many young dancers dream to get accepted to this school. This school was established in 1738 as the Imperial Theatrical School. Jean Baptiste, a French master of ballet, was the first director. Their first year of enrollment consists of 12 boys, only 12 boys and 12 girls. And this school has a long history of producing top-notch ballet dancers, such as you probably all heard these names. Michael Fokin, Tamara Krasavina, Vaslav Nijinsky, Olga Spesivtseva, Galina Ulanova, Natalia Dudinskaya, Rudolf Nureyev, Michael Baryshnikov, Svetlana Zakharova, Diana Vishneva, Ilyana Lopatkina, and many, many more. And the school changed its name twice. In 1957, it's called the Leningrad State Choreographic School. And then it's changed again in 1920. It was renamed Vaganova School for Agrippina Vaganova. Next slide. And now I want to tell you biography of quickly biography of Agrippina Vaganova. She was born in 1879 in Leningrad, and she used to be a ballerina. And she danced at the Imperial Theater School in St. Petersburg, and she was taught by a number of legendary teachers. And upon her graduation, she joined the Mariinsky Ballet, where she became known as the Queen of Variations. Why? Because she had brilliant footwork. And her ballet technique was very strong and amazing. And she has this energetic style that made her outstanding. But unfortunately, her dance career progressed slowly, and that's mainly because of many other beautiful dancers such as Anna Pavlova, Tamara Krasavina, Olga Preobrazhenskaya that were just outstanding, and it was a huge competition for Vaganova. So after the retirement, she started her second career as a ballet instructor. And you have to understand that at that time, when she started to teach, there was no really Russian method of teaching. It was basically traditional national style of French and Italian elements combined. There was not really authentic Russian style. And Agrippina Vaganova knew it, and she wanted to create like her own way of teaching. And what she did, she selected the best aspects of the various styles and integrated them into a coherent system based in classical movement. And what makes her teaching system unique, it's she emphasized on harmony and coordination of all parts of the body, but particularly she pays huge attention to neck, shoulders, spine, upper body. She pays a lot of attention to upper body, enabling her students to maintain a seemingly effortless core of stability while dancing. And her method that she created eventually became the basis of all Soviet training. And she wrote a book in 1934. It's called Basic Principles of Classical Ballet. And I actually bought this book probably, I don't know how many years ago. So it's almost 100 years past, but her book is still famous. I mean, it's still a good instruction how to teach, how to do movements. So it's still usable, although almost 100 years has passed. So that's about Vaganova. Next slide. So now we're going to talk about training at Vaganova School. As I already mentioned, if you have a daughter or if you have a son who wants to dance and you're thinking what school we should go, I would consider Vaganova School is number one school. I would say it's the best school on the world in the world. Probably some of you would argue, but for me, it's the best school. It's very hard to get accepted there because in order to accept it, you need to have a unique body type. You need to have long, skinny legs, long arms, long neck. You need to be extremely skinny because a daughter of my friend, she was trying to get accepted to Vaganova school, and she's like really skinny. If you would see her, you would say, "Oh, she's skinny." But they said not directly because they had someone there. They said she needs to lose like 5 kilograms, although she looks skinny. So you need to be extremely skinny, long, clean body. You need to have arch feet, and you need to have a good turnout. What else? You have to be beautiful because on a stage people wanna look at you, so they select like beautiful faces, nice beautiful faces, nice smile. So it's very important. The appearance is very important because you're gonna be the star, so you need to be beautiful. They also check whether you can hear the music, your rhythm, how you cooperate with the music, whether you can listen. So they check your musicality. But the most important thing, your body type. You have to have the specific body type, and your chest has to be flat because my friend who has a big chest, she said she wasn't accepted because of her chest. They said when she will grow, her chest will be big and she won't be able to jump. So they select very skinny girls. And so the academy has over 300 students, and competition is hard. First, you send the video to them, and they give you like specific instructions what you need to show on this video. And then if they like you will go on a second round. Then you would need to check your health. You need to check your heart, your bones. There has no problem. You're supposed to not have any problems with the bone structure. With heart, they check your heart, lungs. The vision has to be good. You have to see good because the stage is huge and you need to move. So the vision has to be very good. So they check your eyes and they check your feet. And if everything is fine, then you pass to the next level. And when you come to the audition, they check everything. They check your proportions, height of jumps, how high you can jump, degree of turnout, and the general appearance. They also check your psychological possibilities. They check your musicality, rhythm, coordination, and artistic talent. And approximately they select 60 students annually, and out of these 60 students only 25 eventually graduating. So it's almost half, even less than half. And children must be at least 10 years old. They can be 10, 11, 12. And what is more important, they prefer that the child has no training at all. Then they have some kind of training but not good one. So then they need to reteach them, and they hate this. They prefer a very talented child that has no training than very talented child with some awful training. So no, they want like not training at all. It's better because it's better to start right from the beginning than redo something. So they like they like this. Uh, so that I told you about the audition, and once you get accepted, you study French language there, piano lessons, classical, historical, character dance, pas de deux, and mime. And at the end of the 8th year of training, all students dance in the graduation gala at the Mariinsky Theater, which is perfect. The most successful students may be offered a contract, and all dream about this, with the Mariinsky Ballet Company. The school employs approximately 75 dance teachers, 30 piano teachers, 40 academic teachers, and 40 accompanists. Director of the academy is Nikolai Tsitskaridze. He is a famous ballet dancer. He danced at Bolshoi. Amazing dancer. Next slide, please. Okay. If you are a foreigner and you came to Russia, two places that you definitely two places that are definitely going to be on your list, it's a Kremlin and Bolshoi Theater, that's for sure. And they're actually very closely located. Bolshoi Theater is only like 5 minutes away from Kremlin, and all the foreigners, they dream about to go to Bolshoi to see the performance. It's always on a list. And the thing is that it's um, it's very hard to get tickets. Like, let's say, comparing to Mariinsky Theater, that is located in St. Petersburg, the tickets there doesn't cost too much. It's way cheaper than in Moscow. But in Bolshoi Theater, especially if the performance done on historical stage, the tickets are too high, especially if you want to go for Nutcracker for New Year Eve. You can pay a couple of millions of rubles to get to the performance. So my advice, if you came to Moscow, and you should definitely come to Moscow to visit and see the Bolshoi Theater and attend their performance, buy the tickets in advance. I would say 2-3 months in advance, and it's better to buy them at the official box in Moscow. But if you don't have such opportunity, buy from official website, because there are many other sites that would offer you um, different prices, but it's better to buy from official site. But the tickets are gone very fast, so it's hard to get. It's really hard to get tickets, especially for New Year. It's the tickets cost a lot. And mm, it was actually renovated in 2011, and the Bolshoi is rightfully considered one of the most beautiful theaters in Europe. And the history of Bolshoi theater is closely associated with a dozen names that left a deep mark on world culture. And you all probably heard these names: Yuri Grigorovich, Vladimir Vasilyev, Maya Plisetskaya, Galina Ulanova, Ekaterina Maximova, Maria Slepa, Galina Vishnevskaya, Zurab Satkilava, and many other stars of the opera and of the ballet. They all dance in this theater. All ballet dancers dream dancing in Bolshoi theater. And there are 3 stages. Next slide, please. So this is the historic stage. If you want to see the performance, buy ticket, because there are three stages, and they sell tickets for all 3 stages. So if you want to see the best, buy ticket on historic stage. See the performance on historic stage, because that's the biggest one, the most beautiful one, and it's really amazing. You really want to see it. So if you have a choice, buy tickets on historic stage. It probably will cost much more than other stages, but it's worth it. Next slide. There are 2 more stages. This is a new stage. It's smaller, much more smaller, and not so fancy. And the next slide. And this is Beethoven Hall. So it's also not as big as the historical stage. And what else I want to tell you about the Bolshoi Theater? It has guided tours in both languages, in English and Russian. So you can basically go on their official website, it's in English and Russian, and go to the section where they do guided tours. And once you buy tickets and you go there, you can see local museum. There's a local museum inside of the Bolshoi, and you can see the halls, walk around. And if you're lucky enough, you even can attend rehearsal, but that's very hard to get, but you can try. But there is such an option as attending the actual rehearsal, and that's a great experience to see the rehearsal. It's amazing to hear how the choreographer screams on dancers. Okay, so next slide. Okay, Russian ballet dancers. Um, they really look different. The technique looks different, and many questions ask why. Why Russian ballet dancers? They look so different from other dancers from other countries. And I'll try to answer this question. And in my opinion, they look different because their teachers invest so much into them. They invest so much into the little details. Where, for example, in other countries, teachers pay more attention to techniques. Okay, let's do like 5 periods, 10 periods. So they strike more for technique, where Russian teachers they go under they go after details. Details are very important. They pay huge attention on port de bras, carriage of the arms, shoulders, neck, head. So they pay attention to all these little details, and it seems, oh, it's so little, but these little details makes the huge difference, and that's what it makes unique. And another thing that makes Russian dancers so different is that they try to dance with the soul. They put their soul into the dance. They're not just technical, but they dance with the soul, and acting is considered to be a part of their job. So basically, that's what I wanted to tell you about. And now I wanna show you 4 performances. As I told you in the beginning, the topic of today presentation is the history of Russian ballet from. So why I wanna show you all these 4 performances? Because I wanna to show you how the techniques over the 40-60 years has developed, and how the ballerinas different from even the body type. You would see Plisetska and you will see Zakharova. The body type is totally changed. The line changed, the techniques changed. You will see yourself. Okay, David, so let's go to the first performance. So first performance, it's a Carmen, George Bizet, and famous Russian ballerina Maya Plisetskaya is gonna dance this part, and she danced this part in 1975. Okay, so let's see. If you can make the screen bigger, David. Mhm. Somehow I cannot hear anything. No music. Okay, so there's a commercial. Let's try again. Sorry about the commercial. So if you can make a bigger screen, and there is no music. Somehow I don't hear music, but I hope you hear the music. Now I Stop. Super. Okay, stop for 1 second. Okay, so that was the performance of Maya Plisetskaya done in 1975. You probably all know Maya Plisetskaya. She's the most famous ballerina of all the time. And now we're gonna see exactly the same part, the same variation, but performed by Svetlana Zakharova in 2019. It's almost like 45 years later. So let's compare the techniques and body type and everything. Let's begin. Mhm. And stop for 1 second. Mhm. Let's stop. Okay, so as you can see, totally different body type, right? Plisetskaya is like Zakharova is much skinnier than Plisetskaya, yeah, and much leaner body. Legs much higher, yeah. And if you could see, like Zakharova legs like overextended, Plisetskaya legs you could see knee little bit on the other side. So the body types change over the 45 years, and the standards right now are totally different from 45 years ago. Legs much higher, techniques much difficult. So huge change. And now we're gonna see another performance. Again, first performance would be danced by Plisetskaya, and she will dance Swan Lake, Black Swan, Odile. And then we'll see Natalia Osipova, who's gonna dance the same part, but in 2008. So the first one is gonna be by Plisetskaya, and she danced this in 1957. Let's see. Okay, and let's right away
If you wear
see
glasses
the.
or contacts, you
And now, right away, let's see the Osipova dance exactly the same part, just to compare. Hmm? Let's make the screen bigger. Okay, so David, show the last slide. The last slide and the next one. Next. Yeah. So basically you see the four performances. We discussed the first two performances. About the second two performances, again, you see the body is totally different, right? The development of techniques is totally different. Ballet posture have become more extreme over time, and you could clearly see it. The position of dancers has become increasingly vertical, with the moving leg in particular being lifted ever higher. And you basically seen this right now. So we have 4 minutes left, and I will answer any questions that you have. You can ask me any questions about the today's topic, about the performance, any other questions about the school, about the Bolshoi Theater. I will be glad to answer any questions that you have. So let's wait a little bit. So guys, go ahead. If you have any questions, don't be shy. Answer me any questions. I'll be glad to answer them.
Ekaterina,
Okay.
I will ask a question.
Okay.
Do you have to be very rich to become a ballerina in Russia? Would a poor person be able to start ballet lessons, or is it only something for an elite?
Yes, you have a chance because they really select the best. And if you are poor but you have just the right body type, they will accept you and they will train you for free. Yeah. You will live in a special school, they will provide everything, and they will train you for free. Yes, definitely. Because it's so hard to find just the right body type. It has to be everything, and it's such a rare thing that when they find it, they're ready to support it. They will definitely take you because if you have the right body type, then it's like 50% of, I would say 70% of success already, because they'll put you into the best school, they'll take you to the best school and with the right body type. And if the girl wants to be a ballerina, it's not that her parents push her, but that's her will, then definitely she has a chance. Yeah.
And there is a question from Raphael. Can I send it to
Yes.
you? Do,
Mhm.
do you see as positive the ballet school being restricted for entrance? Here in the West, there are discussions on how universities should become easier to access, and the argument is that this would not reduce its value proposition.
Mhm. Basically, okay, that's what I think about this. There's a professional school like Vaganova, and there are plenty of other school, maybe not so professional, but still professional. So if you want to dance, you can still go to other schools. But these top schools that we have, one in Moscow and two in St. Petersburg, that's only for professional, and it's very hard to enter, and I think it's correct because they really choose the best. And then and it's good because when you go to see ballet and you watch them, it's like so aesthetical to see these beautiful lines and everything, and it's like it's really beautiful. But it doesn't mean that you cannot dance. You can still enter to any other schools, maybe not as professional as Vaganova, but you still can dance. Maybe not at the Bolshoi Theater, but you still can dance at home, right?
Another question from Alicia, and it's a very interesting question. Ballet is such a beautiful art, and the longer extensions so much more beautiful than in the past. But ballet has been traditionally associated with eating disorders and mental health. what is the current support or programs in place to prevent this?
Eating disorders, she said.
Yes, that people try to be too thin, or
Well, it's not
yeah.
really true. You have to understand that they select because they're professional. They've been selecting like probably for 20 years. They select girls that they have very fast metabolism, and really ballet dancers, they eat a lot meat, everything. They eat like wolves, and they eat a lot, but they process, they digest the food very fast, you know. It's not necessarily true that they always try to be skinny. It's like maybe when they become older, like over 30, 40, if they continue to dance, then yes, it's a little bit difficult to maintain. But at the beginning, especially at school and up until age of 30, their metabolism is very fast. Yeah, they eat a lot, but they train a lot. Sometimes they train for 8 hours. They have to eat a lot. So I a little bit disagree that there's always like eating disorder. Not always. Like at least all the dancers that I know, they eat a lot, and they have no problems whatsoever because they digest very fast and they train 6 8 hours every day. So they have to eat a lot. They have to eat a lot of meat, protein, and stuff like that. That's my opinion. I don't know whether there are any problems because I don't know. uh, you have to understand that if they selected you, you have this body type that already digest very fast. They wouldn't select person who potentially has problems with food or with weight. They won't select, you know.
Okay, I think we've reached the end of our questions. Can I ask you one last one?
Yes.
Who is your favorite ballerina of all time and why?
Oh, um, I would say Diana Vishneva. I like Vishneva.
Because?
I don't know. I like her body. I like the way. I like her techniques. I like her as a person. I don't know. I just like her style, the way he present herself, the way she dance, her character. I just like her, and I like the way her career develops and everything. She's like international dancer. She not only dance in Mariinsky theater, but she also dance in American Ballet Theater. So she's like more international, and I really like her.
Okay, great. Well, all it remains for me to do is to thank you so much again, Ekaterina.
Thank you, David,
It's
for
always
inviting
fascinating
me.
to hear you. Your passion and your enthusiasm and your deep knowledge always shine through very strongly. And
Oh,
I'm sure that
thank you.
everybody who's been watching will have appreciated that. And we thank you for giving up your time for doing this.
Okay.
If I can just, today is our music and dance day, because after our session on Russian ballet, we now have a session on Brazilian jazz. So I hope that you guys will, in a second, um, cut across to a Zoom session that we will be running starting in about 10 minutes. The link is in the timeline. It was also sent you in an email yesterday. So if you can make that switch from the delicacy of Russian ballet to the vitality of Brazilian jazz, then we hope to see you over in the Zoom call shortly. Once again, thank you, Ekaterina, and
Thank you.
I'm now going to stop the broadcast. So
Okay. Thank you so much.
thank
Thank
you
you
very
guys
much
for
indeed.
joining.
Thank you.
Take care.